All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls all around the world, welcome. We're all ready for another edition of London Session. It is, as always, time to get the show on the road, guys. So without further ado, as always, good morning, good afternoon, a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Welcome to another edition of London Session. Looking forward to seeing what we can come up with moving forward here today on the gold. No trades for me yesterday. To be honest, gold looking a little bit tricky at the minute. Very difficult selling it into what is some really high time frame support, all these wicks. So we're likely going to be looking for buy options. I'll go over the analysis shortly. Guys, you know the drill. YouTube, if you could please do so. Don't forget to hit that like button if you've not already done so. TikTok, smash that little screen for me. Let's get the masses onto the stream. Guys, feel free to ask questions. If you have any charts or anything you'd like me to look at, let me know. In the meantime, I'll get to you guys shortly, but let's have a look at the news to begin, and let's see if there is anything scheduled here today. We've had high impact news for the Aussie dollar. Cash rate remained the same. They're quite hawkish coming out of the Australian Reserve Bank. So off the back of that, I think a bit of strength to the Aussie dollar. Otherwise, nothing really today. You got the Bank of Japan obviously speaking as well a little bit later on. So anyone trading the yen or even GJ obviously, or UJ, be wary of that. That is to come. Moving forward into MY session. Big day also ADP weekly employment change. So that was that not last week? Last week, I'm not sure. Anyway, not sure what's going on there, but nonetheless, it is scheduled for today. Also, we do have jobs opening, so definitely high impact news to come into the MY session. All right, guys, let's get into the analysis though, and let's start with, as always, the gold, and starting with the weekly time frame. And as I mentioned yesterday, I do believe if we were to break the low of that previous weekly candle, that could lead to a bigger sell-off. So we're still respecting it. We are forming bearish low. So let's have a look now at the daily. Daily candle probabilities are bearish. We have now, have we tapped into the weekly interruption? Not yet. Obviously not. We have not broken low, so we could not have. But back to the daily. Candle probabilities are to the downside here on the daily time frame. But again, it's nothing really sustained. It's a bit of a slow trickle down. Reason being is because the overall structure here in the daily is technically bullish. So that's likely what follows when you're in a big strong uptrend at higher time frames. These pullbacks are generally quite shallow in comparison to the impulses. So are we again just pulling back to grab a little bit more liquidity from the downside in order to make the move back up and retest the all-time highs again? Again, if we begin to break that previous weekly candles low, I would favor more of a deeper pullback if that was to be the case. On to the 4-hour time frame here, and what we can see is structurally does remain bullish. It has almost tapped into, but not quite, the last significant higher low. So we do remain bullish in structure here on the 4-hour time frame. Obviously we're at some pretty strong levels though. These wicks is obviously all pretty much support once we go down to the M15 time frame, and the thing is below, running straight into more support here to the left. So for me, selling upon continuation here is going to be a little bit tricky, so I'd rather preference a pullback sell. Otherwise, potentially look for buy options. Now we're about to close bearish here on the 4 hours, so I will prematurely draw in the resistance at this point here. As far as support, guys, I mean, I'll wait till the 15-minute. To be honest, I'll draw in support on the 15. I know we're at a strong level nonetheless, so we'll mark it in gray. To the upside, I mean, we've got, if we begin to pop above the resistance here on the current 4-hour candle, I mean, it's going to be levels within it in the 15 again, but if we do pop up with momentum for 1,218, could be that potential target again. On to the 15-minute time frame here just now, and just going to adjust this zone ever so slightly. And what I can see is we've formed support just above the daily low at this point here. So again, it's a 4-hour level. Let's just shift this across to the left. Below it, we're going straight into some more support. It's going to be really tricky to look for any continuation sells, to be honest, guys. So what I would be looking for here today is, first of all, rejection. We are potentially rejecting just now as well. We are showing signs of exhaustion at some previous levels of support here to the left. Let's quickly look at the 5-minute time frame. We've also formed some 5-minute support. We could almost have a catalyst here, guys, in the next 5 minutes to look for a sell. If this candle was to close back bearish or extremely weak bullish, leaving a long upper wick, that again, because the previous candle also did likewise, left a long upper wick, tapping into previous level of support here to the left, suggesting maybe we've grabbed some upside liquidity in order to shift price back down towards the current daily candles low. So at this point, we're basically going to be looking for the pullback sells. We could look for a sell in 4.5 minutes potentially, guys. I'm not ruling it out. We just want to see how this candle closes prior to executing upon that. Otherwise, guys, if we don't get the option to take a sell, if in fact we close back a pause candle bearish only to wipe out that pause candle, then I would look for a buy at the back of that, because then we're starting to form a bit of structure to the upside off the 4-hour support, popping back above some support here to the left hand side. So I do see more potential here today on gold than what I saw yesterday, which is a good thing. But we're just going to need to patiently wait for the time being. So we're either looking for the pullback sells, I'll just put it up here, anywhere within that level, to be honest, or again, a bit of structure to form from the current level for the buy option. And that is what I'm currently looking at in gold. Hopefully that's understood. Just remove this zone for the time being. Let's have a look at the 5-minute again. Let's just keep a bit of an eye on the 5-minute. So we've got the 5-minute support just here. The 5-minute structure itself is technically bearish, so we just need to wait patiently and see how this candle closes. Now I'm going to go back to the 15, and I'm going to use the fib here. I'm marking from high to low, and what I want to see is price, before I even consider any impulse sell, this candle needs to close below the 0.382 from top to bottom, and that would suggest it's a weak closure. It would suggest we've left a long upper wick, suggesting we've grabbed upside liquidity again. Back of that, I would consider a potential impulse sell. So that is what I'm currently looking at, guys. To my members, quickly, I will send you a link. Feel free to join. And hopefully that makes sense. So we need to wait 2 minutes and just over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So what I'm going to do at the minute is just check out what the lowest point of this current candle is on my broker's chart. And it is 41.8032. And I could potentially look for an option again if it ticks the box and around at 41.8030. Sorry, not 30, 41.80 flat. Giving it just over 3 pips leeway. Actually, I'm going to go for 20, 05. The 2.7 pips, that should be plenty. All right, just under 2 minutes. I'll quickly say good day to the YouTube chat and TikTok. Roxy, welcome to you. Hope you're doing well. Peter, good day to you, mate. Bartman, Paul, same names as always. Oliver, Franco. Thank you for joining, guys. Oliver, all good, mate. Hope you're doing well as well. TikTok, Lachlan, thank you for the stickers, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Minute and a half remaining. Let's see if we do get that closure we are looking for. Otherwise, we just need to wait again. Mikey Lavelle, lowest trend line, 41.30. Swing buys to all-time high. Fair enough. Julio in longs right now. We slipped NY AM low. Okay, fair enough. Just over a minute remaining. We're not going to be valid at this rate. Believe in Jesus to be saved. Fair enough, fair enough. But this is not what this stream's about. Lachlan, good day to you. Success life. Wait to hit 41.88. Maybe if we have confirmation for sell. Fair enough. Again, all good. You do as you please. It's not going to be valid anyway. We've got just over 30 seconds remaining, and it's pushing a little bit too bullish, strong bullish at the moment. Petro time frame, predominantly the M15. Dino, can I teach you? I do have a VIP community group. Healing, g'day to you. All right, so it's not going to be valid, so we can just remove that. We need to wait. So the next option to the downside would be the very simple plan now. Extremely simple. It's data prints, I reassess. So I had my plan if this ticked the box, which it hasn't. Next potential option would be, I mean, the preference is the engulfing or very close to it. If we're going to have a chance to an opportunity to take sell, something like that, can break it, don't really care as long as we do have the margin to target the daily low again. So that's what I'll be looking at for the sell. Now for the buy, this candle close something like so, and then the options are either going to be IC entry, we have that confirmation, or if that doesn't present, just a continuation buy, or similar to the sell option, even if it doesn't engulf, very close to it would be good enough, and that would also validate a potential buy option. So that's just me planning ahead, guys, and if it just shits the bed in the meantime, there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. Reason means I do not have a 15-minute candle closing my direction prior to considering the entry, so I'm not going to trust it just off the back of a 5-minute. Because the 5-minute could just create a low, would bounce heavily or strongly off the 4-hour support, and it could just be forming structure to the upside here. So without that 15-minute confirmation prior to looking for the entry, I can't trust the 5-minute. That's just the way I go about it. If I had the 15 closing back bearish prior to it, then I could perhaps trust the 5-minute as the confirmation to sell it on the closure below. It's a free education, guys. You get it on the daily here. So please, YouTube, smash that like button. Let's smash it. Let's get his like count up to 40 to 50, guys. Do me a favor. Let's kill it today. We want this stream to be the #1. It deserves to be. I give away so much information on it, and the win rate is over 80%. So having 50, 60 people on the YouTube stream is not good enough. We need it to be up around that 100 plus. Blue Pips, hello to you. Can you trade breakouts only? Can you explain your strategy, please? No, I don't trade breakouts only. I rarely ever trade a breakout, to be honest. Strategy is price action, mate, at predetermined levels. It's purely price action. Price action are my signals. It dictates the story, dictates my entries. Just watch and learn. If you could also rewind to the start of the stream or do it later and have a watch of how I go about my analysis, and that will also help you out. Carl, good morning to you, brother. Men Canada, good morning to you. Welcome, guys. So let's keep smashing that like button, YouTube, please. Help your brother out. Back to TikTok. Shams, when is there news? Not till NY session, basically. Or if you're training in, there's news before it. Neo, hello to you. Where are the wicks from your candles? I have wicks on my chart. You might not be looking at the screen closely enough. I've got wicks everywhere here as well, mate. Have a proper look, and maybe just the resolution on your side of things, I'm not sure, but I definitely got the wicks here as well. Jeffrey, I'm gonna buy from 41.74.13. Nice one. Don't give it back. That's all I'll say. You're at least fairly stop loss into profit. Shams, how do you know? Have a look at Forex Factory or Financial Juice. That would tell you. Do you know I've blown my account? It's hurting. How long you've been training for? It happens, mate. But if you're practicing proper risk management, it shouldn't be an issue. You should not have blown your account. But if it makes you feel any better, I've done it multiple times when I was new to trading, or newish as well. I still did it after like maybe 2 years in, just being frustrated and doing what I would call the FUCK trade. But no longer do I do stupid, you know, daft things like that anymore. So now practice proper risk management. I have proper rules that I stick to, and there's a reason for it, because I know if I do, there's a good chance I'm going to end up, you know, 80+% chance I'll end up winning. Jeffrey, part of the game. Yep, love losing money. You just need to be able to accept it. It happens. Octave, what is your frequency of trade if 80% is your win rate plus pip rate per trade? What is your frequency of trade? Is in how often I trade? It just depends. Some weeks when it rains, it pours. Some weeks, not many opportunities because I'm not dictated by the charts. I don't sit in the charts for 10 hours of a day. I'm lucky to sit on the charts for more than 2-3 hours a day, to be honest. So charts don't dictate my life, because that becomes a full-time job, and it leads to also things such as, you know, emotions taking control, because if you don't find a trade, you don't feel justified, and then you take the second rate or third rate even trade, you get absolutely wrecked, and you dig a hole and you want to get that back, and it leads to emotions taking over things. So I'm extremely robotic. I have a system I follow, and I will not deviate from it because it works for me. Pip rate, it all depends. It depends. I always have a relatively tight stop loss. I always manage trades in drawdown unless I'm just willing to accept the full risk of the trade, but for the most part I always manage it. So anywhere between, just depends, 15, 30, 50, 100, 200. It all just depends where we're trading. One thing is, when you're trading within a range holds priority. If you're trading into clean traffic, you can give it a little bit more breathing room. Trading health, random stuff. Is it supply and demand? Just watch, mate. It's a lot more to it than just that. There's a lot more to it. There you go. I haven't seen. All good, mate. All good. Yeah, you just have to look a little bit more closely. Sup, Tendon K Shawang. What we waiting for? For either rejection or a potential sell option upon this pullback, or rejection and then price traps the sellers and closes back above it, or a potential buy. I'm not chasing this buy, because the fact of the matter is, if you're not in from lower down, you're too late to the party. I need it to reset for a buy, and that's what I'm doing. Octa, you mentioned predetermined levels, so Feb levels indicate how often get a chance to trader. Fib, you mean? No, it's got nothing to do with fibs. It's levels of support and resistance, and where I want to roughly get involved. Doesn't mean I can't get involved while price is in the middle. I have options to trade that as well, but they need to present. How about Jaffa? Gotta be careful how it reads some of these profile names. I read it and then think afterwards. Bullish momentum. There is bullish momentum at the moment. Ramel, buy all in. Fair enough. Jay, what times do you usually jump on? Usually around 10 minutes prior to the turn of the last hour. Lau, good morning to you. Hope you're well, brother. Once again, YouTube guys, please, only 18 likes. It's just not good enough. There's 47 of you on the stream. It takes 2 seconds. I'm not asking that much. It will really help me out. I don't charge anything to watch the stream, and I give you so much free knowledge on the daily. Just quickly hit that like button for me. Sanj, thank you for the sticker, mate. H, are you waiting for a buy or sell? Options to either side, but this rate, I'm not chasing a buy, and a sell is not valid, so I need to wait. In this sort of situation, what may present, and my favorite, probably my second favorite trade, if not the favorite, is the interruption entry. You know, YouTube is the exact same profile name as the TikTok, so I am live on YouTube at the minute. You get the full screen, you get the price scale, so you don't have to worry about asking me what price we're currently at, or if this is live, for instance, because you don't know what the price is. Martin, you're on a buy. Nice one. Ahmed, every day. The sellers are moving price a little bit down, $5 to $7 every day. Big bull flag. Okay, fair enough if that's something you picked up on. To be honest, I have thoughts as to why it keeps getting pushed back down a bit. It's all to do with the big bullion banks, JP Morgan, HSBC, so on and so forth, those banks. Because they're so heavy in shorts. That is also what crashed the comics last week. It was basically silver had broke out to a new all-time high, and it was just to give them a chance to exit positions. Before it really took off, so, and then jump on the right side of things. That's what happens. There's so much manipulation in it when it comes to precious metals. Lucky you're gonna buy from 41.81. All right, nice one, mate. Just again, don't give it back. No, mate. If the interest rates didn't drop, I think we will revisit 4,000. Yeah, well, apparently they're quite dovish with potential interest rate cuts again. So if that's the case, then I mean, gold can continue to pump it. What do I say about DXY, guys? Gold and DXY are both struggling this week. So everyone who says you're not looking at DXY, you need to look at DXY. Crock of shit. You don't need to look at DXY when you trade gold. Look at the DXY when you trade EU, AU, GU. That's when you can consider looking at DXY. Trading gold, don't bother. You're wasting your time. When it comes to scalping, anyway, don't bother with it. Swing trading may be a different story, no idea. Scalping, you're wasting your time if you're worried about what DXY is doing and trying to trade gold. Lucky stops at break even. Good work. Nice work, my friend. Alright, I've not looked at GJ. Does anyone really care about GJ anymore? I don't trade it. And quickly look at it weekly. Wow, look at that. It's pumping to some big levels. The yen is really in trouble. Really in trouble. Daily, again, bullish counter probabilities. When was the last time we're at these levels? Or over a year ago. Above that, and you're into some really, wow. That was a price not been at since 08. The GJ, and there is high impact news to come for the yen, so just be wary of that. But it's in a big strong uptrend. When something is in such a strong trend to one particular, you know, obviously in one direction, whether it be up or down, I'd just trade the trend. I would not try to catch a counter trend entry. Oops. So for me on GJ, I would literally just look for any buy option. Buy options for me would be continuation buys above the high. Not even bother looking to the left, there is nothing. Or pullbacks, where structural flip back bearish is below this support here. Would still struggle to sell it unless you get the confirmation, the retest, continuation below the Asian range low, but you're running some more support. So I would just preference the buys. Be patiently waiting for a pullback for a buy. You got another level of support just here, may not give you enough margin to buy it at 207.850. Otherwise, just buys above the high. That's what I'd be looking at on GJ. Gold once again rejecting. It still looks like we could be exhausting a little bit to the upside here, but I still don't have the confirmation to sell it. Need to be careful. Martin, do you recommend FunderNext for my first funder? No idea if FunderNext are to recommend any to recommend it. Don't know. The only one I've seen proof of, or a couple actually, FDMO is the main one. Fivers, Audacity seems to be okay as well. I'm actually in a GJ buy, been ages, but Do glance at it on the foot. Nice one. Got a runner left, so it will either hit a crazy TP or break in. Nice one, mate. YouTube, guys, once again, there's over 50 of you on the stream. There's 27 likes. It's just not good enough. I need you guys to just help me out quickly. Hit the like button. All right, so still got no entry here. Still don't have a confirmation. 15 candle closing back bearish. We do have another weak bullish closure here, but I'm gonna patiently wait for the closure. Closure back below. Perhaps the 5-minute support. So we'll wait and see. But nothing just yet. DKZ061 will go down more, you think? Possibly. I mean, what these wicks suggest to me is that we're potentially grabbing upside liquidity in order to shift price back towards the current daily candles low. But again, I don't trade what I think because I might get trapped. It may not be. I may end up just grabbing a little bit more downside liquidity and popping straight back up. So I react to what I see in front of me. And I need to wait for more data to print. And if I have this confirmation, then I'm happy to react to that and look for a sell in the following candle. And that would give me more confidence that we're going to likely head back down. Without it, I need to just patiently wait. Castle room buys 41.72.50. Nice one again. Just don't give it back. If you're in decent profit. DKZ, I just mentioned about 10 minutes ago what I think of the DXY and trading gold. Just don't bother. It's just not, you're wasting your time if you're looking at DXY and trying to trade gold when it comes to scalping. Such a crock of shit how everyone thinks they always inversely correlate. It's not true. Obviously, yes, the Euro USD, Aussie USD, Pound USD, so on and so forth. The majors, that's a different story. But I mean, you can just see it. If EU's going down, quickly check GU, quickly look at AU, they all look the same. So you'll know DXY must be pumping if they're going down, or if it's obviously if they're going up, and DXY must be dumping. Check the news. There's been high impact AUD news, so that could be pushing, you know, away from the EU and the pound. But yeah, don't worry about DXY. Django in a long, I'm not in nothing, mate. Carson, I've been taking partials the whole way. Nice one. DXY EU is the best. Or EU basically makes up the DXY. It's like 2/3 or more or something of the DXY is just the Euro USD. Is the Euro itself. S3 predictions on gold. I don't predict, I react. If we close strong bearish, preferably engulfing or very close to it, then I'll look for a sell. Yeah, it's preferencing the sells, but I'm not against the buys. If I get, first of all, if this closes bearish and following candle closes bullish engulfing, I would be very interested in looking for a buy. But at the moment, I'm planning for a sell. If it shits the bed in the meantime, I'm not fussed at all because I'm just following my rules. I cannot enter right now. Don't have a confirmation until this candle closes. Koi Life going to 4,150 all day. This okay, fair enough. Will wall trip confirmation for long or short? Nothing in a minute. Potentially short soon. Going long from 203 on GC. Okay. Being in along, you mean, or that's where you want to get involved? 0D, good day to you. So we're waiting here, and if this candle closes bearish and gives us a decent confirmation, then we can look for a sell. If not, what it will do if it closes weak bearish is still give us that minor resistance, and that could open up some potential buy options. Now it just depends on the strength of the candle to the downside as far as whether or not there could be an impulse entry up. So when we get closer to the closure of this candle, I will use the fib. And if this closes weak bearish above the 0.382 from bottom to top, I could potentially look for an impulse buy on the following candle. This could be just a pause. Gather a little bit more downside liquidity before we head back up. So that's, again, something I'm looking at just now. Give me a bit of an eye on. Will wall trip? Again, you need to have a plan, mate, as far as how you're going to go about managing a trade. Don't just listen to what I'm saying, because what if it does continue your direction? I've said close it, you're not going to be happy. So you just need to have your own plan and follow it. That's the honest truth. 0D not trained today, but still want to see how XAU plays out. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with watching and learning. All right, YouTube, 29 likes. Let's get it up a little bit more. Just over 7 minutes remaining, guys. If this shits the bed, it shits the bed. There is not much I can do. Luke Haywood, have you learnt on your own time or from being in the industry? I've learnt from a lot of it is self-taught, but I also learnt from various groups that I was involved in before, but I've changed things around to suit my needs, and I do things a lot differently to what I was ever taught. There's different entries, there's different confirmations. So a lot of it is self-taught, just by learning from what, you know, from being on the charts. Main thing is patience and discipline. So if this thing just shits the bed right now, there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. Trying to continue bearish at the minute. All right, so we need margin to the downside. The following candle's going to need a decent upper wick. and that could be the only way we can get involved. Yo, B, what is the worst mistake a trader could make? Stupidity, being daft, reckless, not following a plan, giving into emotions, FOMO. Like for instance, if I just thought to myself, right, I'm just going to sell it because I want to get involved in a trade, and then if I got wrecked, I'd be bloody shitty at myself. So it is what it is. Again, you have a plan, you have rules, and if you've been training, especially those who've been training for any lengthy period of time, and trust their analysis, trust their rules, trust the process, know that they're likely going to win if they just stick to the plan. And I mean, that's all you can do. You don't give into FOMO. For instance, here I mentioned how many times that you're keen on trying to get involved in a sell because of these weak rejections. But I mentioned the rule for this trade was to wait for this candle to close back below. That was the rule I created. That was the rule I'm sticking to. And unfortunately, this candle is the one that's made the move. So there is not much I can do about it. However, we are popping back up. Once again, are we just grabbing downside liquidity? So as I always mention, as data prints, I need to reassess, reanalyze, and see what I can come up with moving forward. So my next potential option could be, we've still got just under 4 minutes remaining, guys. I mean, if this thing rejects and closes weak bearish, all I need to do is look for a bit of a low wick and then a potential entry to the upside on the following candle. Otherwise, same analysis applies in the opposite direction. I'll be waiting for a closure and it will be something like that. So I'm not ruling out a potential entry in just over 3 minutes. I will now use the fib, and this is how I do it. In this case, seeing it's a bearish candle and I'm looking for maybe a potential impulse entry above it, I will roll in from the low to the high. And what I want to pinpoint is the 0.382. And if price was to close above the 0.382, what that would suggest to me it's a weak closure. And therefore, if the following candle begun to break the high of it, there would be, in my opinion, a high probability what this candle has just done is grab downside liquidity in order for us to continue to push back up and perhaps come back up towards the current daily candle high. Now, issues with this one is big stop loss. So you would need a decent low wick, and that would have to be a stop loss in the following candle. So just under 2.5 minutes remaining. And that's what I need to see. I need to see this candle closing above the 0.382 before I can consider an option. To the downside, there's nothing I can do about it. There's no entry for me anymore to the downside at the minute. Paul, hey mate, have you heard anything about this? ASIC issued DDO stop order against FX. Oh, really? Happened on... ASIC are coming down bloody hard. This is my concern. This is my real concern. It's going to be so hard to be a retail trader in Australia. Australia sucks, in all honesty. All this bullshit safeguarding us. They're not safeguarding us. All they're doing is bloody controlling us. It's the same shit with that under 16 social media ban. That's a crock of shit, in all honesty. Worry about bloody all the gang problems, the youth gangs. Worry about all the crime. Worry about all the drugs. Fix that. Leave us people alone. Such scum. Honestly, our government is just completely screwed. Everything is backward. In this country, I'm sorry, this country is just backwards. It's a shithole. I cannot wait to leave Australia for good. And so many people, I've heard the exact same stories. That they've left or they can't wait to leave because this country is not the lucky country anymore. And when I see that vlog, Albanese smiling, I just want to bash the crap out of him. Honestly, I would do the Aussie public a favor and happily be locked up just to get rid of that mongrel. He's a prick. Him and his stupid Wong counterpart, she's the same. She is a terrible, terrible person. That's my rant. It's not valid, guys, so I can continue to rant. Another thing that shits me about this country is the fact that everyone thinks we're racist. It's not about racism. It's got nothing to do about being racist. What shits the average Aussie is the fact that people here struggle themselves. They struggle to make ends meet. We pay a fortune in taxes, yet they allow people into the country, and I don't care where you come from, because my son is obviously Thai, half Thai. So I've got nothing against people from different backgrounds. But what I have against, well, what I do have problems against is when I let people into the country who have no documentation, probably don't even know their own name, you have no idea how old they are, they have no money, you don't know where they come from, they bring them over, they house them, they give them money, they give them free education. What a crock of shit. I'm sorry, what a crock of shit. That makes me racist. I'm racist. Because they should not be in the country. There are enough people struggling here who do not get any help. People who also have a decent reason to migrate here. Skilled workers. They make it very difficult for them. But if you come from somewhere else, no documentation, no passport, no money, here you go. Here's a house, here's some money, here's free education. How many kids you got? We'll give you a couple $100 a week for each kid. It's such bullshit. It is so backward. Shits me to tears. And again, I'm not racist. I could not give a shit where you come from. If you're a good person and you do things right, I'm more than happy, you know. But another thing I'll tell you, again, you guys know I'm very close to Thailand. I love it. I go there regularly. My son is obviously Thai. His mum is Thai. I tell you what, they wouldn't put up with it over there. There is absolutely no way would they let people without documents come into the country. They would not support them. They would not house them. They would round them up, lock them up, shift them, you know, ship them out. That's what they do, and that's not considered racist. So if anyone thinks it's about racism, being racist, it's not. Rant over. Become Bislet 30. I would love to, in all honesty. I've seen a lot on YouTube about it, and I would absolutely love to. One day, I would definitely love to go to that region as well. Sunny, no entry at the minute. Could there be a potential sell? Could there be? If this closes weak bullish, that could present potential option to sell it. Especially if this is to be the highest point of this candle, because we may have the margin to target a 1-to-1 back down to the support. This is a bearish candle wick, so I'm not so bothered by it as far as price could form support within it. So at the minute, we could still be looking at potential sells. The sells could be back on the table, but we need to wait until this candle closes. So that's 12 minutes away, almost, just under. I am CSM12. Where do you live? Melbourne, mate. Shithole. Barman, is Brisbane safe? Don't know. Melbourne's not. Melbourne's not. It's the biggest city in Australia now as far as population. It's not safe. After dark, I personally don't think it's safe. I don't go out, to be honest. It used to be. I was in the city last Thursday for my sister's wedding. The amount of drug abusers, it was rampant there. Quite a big police presence, which I was, to be honest, shocked to see. But I mean, unless you're murdering someone in this country, they're not interested in doing anything. Paul Penny Bong, Minister for Penny Wong. I can't stand it, honestly. I have one love for one particular politician. You guys who in Australia will know exactly who I'm talking about by what I am saying about one. I have a crush. Not attractive. She's a lot older, but she's a legend. She's the only one that says it as it is. It's only one. Doesn't beat around the bush. Recently got kicked out of Parliament for a week. Good on her. Yep, you guys know it. You know it. Again, if you don't like me for it, couldn't care less. She's a legend. Should be Prime Minister. Can't happen, but should be. Paul, no, we're safe in Australia from our government. No, exactly. IMC SM12 Melbourne is not safe anymore. I'm shocked. I thought Australia being so far away is safer than most. Oh, I'm here, mate. I swear, it's a lot of Melbourne. You would not even know you're in Melbourne, let alone Australia. Governments just let it get out of hand, and the people here have had enough. And again, we're not racist. It's nothing to do with that. You come here, you assimilate. I couldn't give a shit where you come from. We go to their countries, we need to respect their laws. If we don't, we get locked up, we get shipped out, we get executed in some countries. Same thing should apply here. There's only one has the guts to you know, mention it in Parliament. And because she says it as it is, she got suspended from Parliament for a week. What a joke. She's a legend. Kenneth, what do you think when trading gold? Need to be careful. So again, reassess. I'm looking for... I can mark it in, but we're likely a little bit premature because it's likely going to create a higher high just here. If it closes below the 0.382 now, we could have potential sell on the following candle. Now what I can do is mark in resistance here. And if we close above it, that becomes my entry point to the upside now. So that's what I'm currently looking or waiting for. Sel, good morning on Turkey. Good morning to you. IMC SM12, by the way. It's not like, don't get me wrong, it's not like you just can't walk down the street and you're not safe in that, but you gotta be careful. There are a lot of dodgy people about, a lot of shady people about certain areas. You need to be a lot more careful than others. For me, I don't go to those sort of areas either way. It's not worth it. Look first and leap, you're correct, Ahmed. Yep, you guys got it. And she's misunderstood. That's the thing. She's misunderstood. She's not racist. TFL, yeah, but to be honest, am I proud? I used to be, not anymore, because this country has turned into a shithole. Because of one Albert Sleazy and that Flog Wong continue to just let it depreciate. And honestly, they do exact opposite to what they say they'll do. And yet, go figure, they're on the opinion polls, they're like at the highest ever rating. I have no idea why. And democracy, bullshit. It's not democracy. We don't choose between two bloody candidates. How's that a democracy? It's rubbish. Two candidates from two shitty parties. How's that a democracy? we're a bigger communist party than China, to be honest. At least China see the streets and they're safe and clean, and people seem to be you know, loving life a lot more than what people do here. Lucky potential sell entry. What are you looking for here? Below closure below the 0.382. 5 minutes remaining. Nothing at the minute. Still watching. Nice, mate. Us in the UK's worse. I don't know, mate. Shithole here as well. Trust me. Aussie, I've never been to Melbourne except the airport, but have heard that youth crime is out. It is completely out of control here. And apparently the cops have it all under control. Apparently they know every single gang member. There's something like 40 plus youth gangs. They know every single gang member and then do something about it. Why do they wait? People get murdered. Don't give a shit. They're kids. They're old enough to know exactly what a knife does if they use it, you know, in that particular way. Chuck them in a jail cell with hardened criminals. It's my personal opinion. Again, I couldn't care if people think I'm an asshole. It's my opinion. Do what they do in Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia. Chuck them in a jail cell with 40 hardened criminals. See how they like that. Or what they should do is conscription. They need to go to the army, because that will also teach them. That would just strip them naked, completely naked. That's what they should do. Send them straight to the army. You stuff up, you go straight to the army. Not that hard, but our politicians are so stupid they can't work it out between them. Just let it go because they're not affected by it. It's only us. Taxes doesn't matter, they're exempt from most of them, so what do they care? Let's just whack on another tax on you know, general public, small businesses and that as well. Let's figure out another way to screw them over. Sorry guys, we're still waiting. We could have an option in 3 minutes. We need it to close below that horizontal for a potential sell. Yarra is only about the immigrants. No, it's not just that. It's not about that. And don't get me wrong, there are some really good ones that deserve to be here, but they've come the right way. It's the taxes. It's just the way they screw the country, completely screw it. The laws. It's a nanny country. You can't do a thing. We're under constant surveillance. Everything we do, we say we're leading the world in all this bullshit regulations, you know, protecting youth from social media, post-bullying. It's bullshit. Nothing to do with that. It's control. It's controlled at an early age, because if they can wrap, you know, their hands around you from a very early age, they'll have total control of you throughout your whole life, and that's exactly what they plan to do. For accidents, how I feel about America? Yeah, it's probably the same. Look, love him or hate him, at least Trump is trying to do something about it. Maybe he's going about the wrong way, I'm not sure. I wish though we had more authoritative leader. Passing the amount of legals and gangs, yep, it's the same shit here. Carl, where else? But the thing is, the government's let it happen. It's funny because I saw a thing recently about someone who predicted all this in 2009. Can't remember exactly the post. It was something on TikTok. Carl, where else do you live? I'd be in Thailand because they won't put up this shit. I have a house there as well. Let's see, just over a minute, guys. Need it to close below. Stop loss will be above this candle's high. Entry will be below its low. So the lowest point of this current candle is 41.7843. 41.7815 roughly would be a potential entry point. Now the target will be the support. That's pretty much a 1-to-1. Need an upper wick. It has to close below. Again, it's just following some rules. If it closes below upper wick, I'll set a self stop below low of this candle. I'll put it up here so you can see it. If it doesn't do so, then I just patiently need to once again wait for London open. All right. Oh, it's trying. Just not valid. It's closed above it. So again, under prints, reassess, have to wait. Bearish engulfing, as long as it doesn't shit the bed, that could be the next option. Otherwise, closures above would be the buy option. Just need to wait. Yeah, I guarantee you Thailand will not put up with it. No way. No way. TFL, to be honest, you think Peter would have done worse? He's another drop kick, to be honest. They're both as bad as each other. That's why Liberal lost, because if he's the best they can put together, then I mean, honestly, Australia's tough. Carson E reforming, yep. Exact same here. Lucky, do you have trigger sell? No, just missed it. Closed a little bit too strong. Jared, buy or sell again. It's just closed a little bit too strong. Lawsy Vic is currently looking to bring in adult time for violent crime. Was reading about it last week. Yep. Apparently, I'll believe it when I say it. And she is useless in herself. Jacinta Allen. Just a carbon copy of that other drop kick beforehand, Andrews, who screwed the livelihoods of so many people, and he got he has a statue erected of him. For what reason, I have no idea. For what? Screwing the state of Victoria. That's all he did. Screwing small businesses. Getting away with hitting a bike rider while driving a car the wrong way down a one-way street while being drunk. Anyone else would be locked up. He got away with it. Where's the justice? Just goes to show politicians are way up on a pedestal ahead of us. They wave everything. I don't know if you thought of migrating to New Zealand. No, apparently it's not that much better there, and it's very expensive there as well. Plus, to be honest, I think if I don't like Melbourne's weather, I don't think I really like New Zealand's weather, because they're more southeast. No, it'd definitely be Asia. Definitely Asia. Funny because, sorry guys, there's nothing, while we're waiting, there's nothing else to talk about. But it's unreal the amount of people who say the exact same thing I speak to, and they don't want to piss someone off. They don't want to come across as rude and racist and so on and so forth. So they just put the feeler out there just to see if you take the bait and your response. And it's like, oh God, thank God you think the same as well. There is so many, it's unbelievable. Everyone's sick of it. IMC SM12, justice is for the poor and helpless people. There is no justice for them. Yaron, I have business in the background. Obviously pissed off a lot of people on TikTok because I've got only 50 on stream at the minute. It's not normally up to around well over 100. But again, I couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less. I'm allowed to have my say, whether you like it or not. This is my platform. I mean, the law applies only for them. Or for, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of corruption in this country as well. It's just not as in your face. Heaps of corruption. Yeah, Andrew should be locked up. Gold just gonna continue to do a lot of nothing. Remains to be seen. Thank you for this up. Yara, thank you for sharing the live. All right, just over 8 minutes. Where are we going to be for session open? Let's wait and see. Could there be a potential buy still? Who knows? All right, so it looks like we potentially are forming structure to the upside here. We need the closure above. Now it's a big candle, sorry, this one. A lot of volume within it. So again, the issue will be stop loss. So it all likely, if it is to be valid, come down to the entry candle. So first of all, I want the closure to be preferably above the resistance. The bishop, I did that. I will always continue to do that. She's forever got my vote, that's for sure. Hey, SS Multimedia, hey, if that candle didn't close below for us to get the confirmation, should it mean it will go to the opposite? Well, this one doesn't mean nothing, just means it wasn't ready. So again, if I was just to buy off the back of that, I could easily have got wrecked. Yes, it seems to be making a move, and it could make the move, but unless I have the confirmation, how do I know? So I'm not going to predict that because it did this, it should do that. I wait for it's done this. What I now need for it to do is that. So closure above or very close to it. Need a decent lower wick. We've still got 5 minutes, over 5 minutes remaining, so Emil, are you gonna buy now? No, I'm waiting for a potential closure above in 4 minutes. Lucky. Ahmed, waiting for the confirmation is good, but don't you think we lose a lot of movement? No, again, because yeah, sometimes you miss the move, but sometimes it's just gonna fake you out, and then you would have got wrecked had you not had waited. Like had you waited, you obviously would not have been wrecked. So again, it's just about patience. I've learned that in this game. I used to think, well, there's a higher chance of it going up now, but I don't have the confirmation, just buy it, and then it drops the opposite direction. So again, it's all about playing along the right line, side of probabilities. No, I just need to patiently wait for the right confirmation. If I have the patience to do so, there's a good chance I'm going to be rewarded. If I try to jump in too early and anticipate, there's a good chance I'm going to get wrecked. So again, I just stick to the rules. I know exactly where I want to get involved, and I know exactly what I want to see. So I need to wait now just 3 minutes, and I want this count to close preferably above it, or if not, very close to it. And then I need a decent low wick, and then a potential entry as it breaks the high of the current candle, which will be the catalyst candle. Now, it needs to have a decent low wick, because if I was to use the current candle, which is usually a technical stop, it's not that bad actually. Yeah, I could probably roll that for the time being. You'd be looking around a 50 pip stop. Alright guys, just under 2 minutes. We want this count to close strong. We want it to close, has to close above the body minimum. Easy quick flicks. What time frame? M15. Yep, as you guys have mentioned below. Okay, double S multimeter. No, please, the small bullish candle that we were waiting for so we can sell. Sure, if I get ya. Anyway, let's just focus on price action at the minute. We've got literally a minute and 10 seconds until session open. Are we going to have a valid entry? So what I'm going to do is just focus on what the highest point of the current candle is on my brokerage chart, and that is 41.8368. So 41.8395. It's a potential entry point. And it's rejecting. Looks like we need to push. We need to start pushing. Y'all sup tendon K Shimwang. Scalper, mate. Scalper. Jared, how about sell? I don't have confirmation to sell. Alright, 10 seconds, guys. Want it to pop up. And of course, it's not done, so. Alright, it's popping straight up at the open. See what happens. Let's see if it breaks the high, pops back down, create a low wick. Not for a sell. Still seeing if there is a way to get involved in a more impulsive buy option. So let's just let this London Open candle do its thing for a little bit. Doesn't really have a low wick. Just broken the high of the previous candle, or very close to it. I think it has just broken it. Let's see if it pulls back down to create low wick. That's to be the case. We could look for a cheeky impulse entry as it breaks its own high again, using the low of this candle as the stop loss. But it needs to pull back and create that lower wick. Because if we do so, and it does pull back to create lower wick, like so, then if you have to buy stop back above the high, well, it's too late now, it's popping straight up. So for me, irrespective, no entry there. But what I was getting at is, if it was to pop back down and create a lower wick, it has no business to pop back up and break its own high again. And if it did break its own high again, it's likely to grab some more downside liquidity in order to complete the move up. Gold's just being a bit tricky at the moment. Structurally, it looks pretty good to continue now bullish. I mean, off the 4-hour support, seems to be forming some nice bullish structure. But as far as confirmations, I'm just not getting the right ones for the way I trade, but it's all good. Lucky, nah, there's no validation. Yeah, there's no valid entry. That's all good. Not fast, because I know there could be an opportunity later. I will be on with my team later on. And who knows? We'll see. We'll wait around a little bit. If this rejects and we close back below, then there's going to be sells on the next M15. So not going anywhere just yet. Just waiting a little bit longer. GJ up to GJ also popping up. We're considering bullish. Salmon, yes. London did just open. Welcome. Job? Well, apart from the business, just to work in events management. So I was back of house stuff. I was involved in food distribution. and setting up the events as well. Setting up things like kitchens, the actual marquees themselves. Some of the major sporting events, world renowned sporting events like the Formula 1 Grand Prix, the MotoGP as well, Melbourne Cup, Carnival, also for some of the major venues here in Melbourne as well. The museum, some major restaurants as well. I mean, it's good fun. It was actually really good fun, but it's only so long we could really do that type of work because it was really demanding. And in fact, to be honest, these days with OH&S the way it is, there is no way we'd get away with what we used to do back then. We used to do stupid shit like carrying fridges up, like I'm talking about, you know, like commercial fridges and that, up flights of stairs, like 3 or 4 guys, and kill our backs, do all that type of shit because there's no forklift access, things like that. So I used to ride the forklift as well. Yeah, it was good fun. We used to get a lot of perks. We used to get a lot of booze as well for free. Food. We obviously got to see some events. We got to meet some interesting characters as well, and that was really good fun. Maybe saw a few things we shouldn't have seen from some celebrity or more sports stars and that type of thing as well. Very delicious, all good, mate. Gold is waiting to see at this moment. Likely looking for a rejection sell if it presents in 7 minutes. Want it back below the support. So that's, again, it's the plan. Reassessing data prints. Next plan is for this count to close back below the zone. Wet bearish, bullish, doesn't really make a difference. Lachlan, this is the other Lachlan. Lost 2k training today. That's not great, mate. Yeah, we had some wild parties back then, so it was really good fun. We used to go to work after with no sleep, taking in turns to have like an hour power nap. It was pretty funny stuff back then. Doing some killer shifts. I did a 20, I'm not joking, 25-hour shift once. OH&S these days, you'd be gone. The company would be shut down in 2 seconds. Back then, you used to get away with that type of stuff. Easy cook flicks? No, I'm from Melbourne, Australia, mate, Aussie. Gold looks like it wants to continue, so again, there is not much I can do about at the minute. 5-minute interruption, wow. Interesting. Something that needs to be tested. Yeah, that's something we need to test more. I have taken 5-minute interruption entry before, but not in this sort of situation when price has been really trending in with the trend as well. So for instance, if it was here and we're in a big strong downtrend and we have the 5-minute pause candle, price taps into it, so on and so forth. Not taken in this sort of circumstance, but something the members and I will need to test a bit. Because look at that, that would have been a cracking entry. So within the current candle, you've had the pullback, you've tapped into the 5-minute interruption and it's bounced off it. So again, even I learn on stream as well, so. What is the time? Now it's just after 7 PM. TFL, a lot of news this week. Yep, there is. There's a lot of news today. Yeah, it's a big week ahead for pretty much all the majors. OMC to come tomorrow. Yeah, it's a massive week. Wow. Look at this thing pump. We do. Not a lot, guys. Not a lot we can do. What shall I make a video on this week? Still, I don't mind what I'm seeing because this could present for something, a better option later today. So if it creates a clear move up, then we're respecting what was previously the clear move, and if we reject, it could make a nice clear move back. Carl, how to be bold and sexy? That's a good one. I like it. The daily routine, which makes me look this handsome. Okay. Be great. It probably would be if I could do a, you know, just a piss take video. A life of a professional forex trader. Who stays at home, takes care of his folks, his parents. Here's the old man. Say hello. What? What? Say hello. What? Turn your hearing aid up, mate. What? Here's your hearing aid. I'm sitting. Still can't hear a word. The old lady's not much better. I bet she works every day still, so gotta help the folks. They're obviously getting on in age, so other than that, it's gym. The work business, the family business is boring as hell, so there's no point doing anything on that. You watch 2 seconds of it, nah, there's nothing of interest. The gym again, I just don't feel right to poke a bloody, you know, camera in someone's face or the phone on a bloody stick walking around in a life. The yoga room sometimes empty, and I do take, just so I know, also just check my form and that. I have to upload one video on TikTok. We'll do some more. I have recorded a few more, just haven't uploaded them. Snapshot video and clones. Well, I've got heaps of those on TikTok, mate. Speaking of, us having looked today at a few different ones. No new purchases just yet. Today I wore myself Absolute, and wow, beautiful fragrance, and it lasts. That's a better thing. I could still smell it in a day. Really quality fragrance, but is it worth the money? I don't know. I got it on sale. Would I buy it full price? No. I got it like $80 cheaper than what it normally is. But for full price, I think there's better options out there. Gold still pumping. So there's nothing much I can do at the minute, guys. Another 5-minute interruption. If you trust it, buy limit the high of that bearish candle. Stop loss below the bearish candle low. Don't have the data to back it up just yet to trust it with 5-minute interruption. Offline, if you look JJ, do you reckon it will retrace or keep pumping? JJ's in a big strong uptrend. I would not try to counter trend trade. I'd just be looking for a pullback buy. Talked about options here. Upper wick would have been difficult, but otherwise perfect entry. This is what I was looking out for in gold. Closure above or below. Closure above, retest, continuation, absolutely perfect. Favorite cologne at the moment. What is my favorite fragrance? And there's so many to choose from. Still probably. Look, it's between two winter fragrances. Still is my favorites. That's Boss Bottle Absolute and Poca Rabanne. Invictus Elixir. Cracking fragrances. Otherwise, the new Ralph Lauren New York nightclub New York or something like that it's called. That's good. I really like that. I'm a big fan of Giorgio Armani. All the Acqua di Gio and the flankers are all, in my opinion, really good, easy summer wear fragrances. I've got that many. Still always adding to the collection. Whoops. YouTube, I think I've accidentally added an ad, so if you get an ad, surely I apologize. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to get an entry just now. It's not going to happen. I'm not chasing it to the upside. Fact of the matter is, if you're not in already, you're probably a little bit too late. So for me, I just need to let it reset. By lean, what I mean by that is maybe lean it, pull back to create a high low, form some support again, and then look for a price action catalyst to buy it. Otherwise, I'm just going to wait and see how price reacts to the last significant lower high here in the 15-minute time frame. Does pop up higher, and look for a potential sell moving forward. And that would be the options. Now, if it does form a lower high and you get the right confirmation to do so, then potential sells could still be valid. You definitely want to be looking at the 5-minute time frame as well for some sort of added confluence. So if it forms some minor support in the 5-minute, 15 closes back bearish, you want it to close below that support. So for instance, that could be your option. So yeah, that could be a potential option. It has to close bearish in the M15. You need some added confluence because you got to think about it. You're up against what has been a pretty strong bounce off wire support, and you're up against this strong bullish candle. So for me to trust it off the back of one catalyst candle, bearish engulfing, if that is to happen, the issues with that is you have no margin to the support. Stop loss is way too wide. So as good as the confirmation is, just not really going to give you the best option. So next option is, once again, wait for some sort of confirmation on 15 that you've got, first of all, rejection, so a bearish candle. Go down to the 5 if you have to, and you want to see a closure below a 5-minute support along with that 15-minute bearish candle, and that may be enough to suggest you could get involved in a sell to perhaps create a higher low. So I would get to break even pretty quickly on it in case it does not pop all the way back down to the support. That's something you would need to be a little bit wary of. That is just over 10 minutes away. Today I got a sell from 193.69. Nice one. From up here. But you think it respects the daily Emil? Couldn't care less about fair value ups. I don't trade them, so no idea. Not being rude, it's not my way I trade, so not interested in fair value up. Club New York, Ralph Lauren, that's what it is. Also a really nice aquatic sort of fragrance. Emil, would I trade them based on what? Price action. Price action, predetermined levels. Preferring a bias, but always fixated to the bias. And again, I look at different time frames, starting at the weekly, daily, onto the 4-hour, and then the minor time frames, 15, 5-minute. And also if we're coming close to the hourly closure, I look at the 1-hour candles as well. Kind of Paradigm, that's another one too. Smells a little bit similar to why I sell myself though. PDP. Strong reviews, all those flankers from Armani are also quality, but they're more obviously winter fragrances. We are in summer here.
Hey, good morning, Justin.
How's it going, mate?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
All good, all good. Just watching gold do its thing.
Pretty hard. Also, yesterday was hard on gold. It was ranging the whole
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
It's a little bit moving today, but not really in the right direction.
Yeah, it's just without the right confirmation, really. It's been a bit tricky. So, yeah. Is what it is, isn't it? So we just need to begin, plan, and wait.
Correct, and be patient.
Yep. Patience will normally eventually pay. 80% of the time. Well, anyway.
Do you know something about? I see that the majors indices, DAX for example, is pushing hard up to the upside.
Oh, wow.
And I have no clue why.
Let's see as well. Let's see, is a bit all over the place. Is there any? There's no news.
No, not really. There was some news.
Nothing breaking
news before 8 o'clock, but it pushed already hard to the upside a half hour before, and then make a rest, and then pushing right now again to the upside. I don't know why.
It's a big move, isn't it? So you would think that may be something going on. Oh, German trade balance. Maybe.
Yeah, but this was after the first move, so there was a half hour before, there was a big spike to the upside. And
okay.
Then it rested a little bit, and then on London Open it pushed again up.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, this thing is nuts. Oof. Liquidity entry just there. Broke low, broke high. Yeah, need to probably start to test this one out as well.
Will you do later a stream for the members?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'll be on.
Okay, maybe talk about some private
Sure.
things and so on.
Of course. Not a problem. Look forward to it. That'll be probably an hour and a bit after the stream. Maybe an hour and 15 minutes or so after it. Are you expecting gold to come down today? Emila, sorry. Emila, not expecting nothing. Again, I just react to what I see, so could come down, could go up, and it's not helping you much, I understand, but again, I'm not predicting because just I don't have a crystal ball. I need to react to having the right confirmation to enter. So giving it just over 4 minutes, and I want to see this candle close bearish below the 5-minute support on the 15, and then I will stay on to look for an entry. If not, I'm just gonna call it because I'm not sure when it will happen, and it's starting to get to the time where I'm pretty hungry. Almost 7:30 p.m. here. Still gotta make dinner. Hello, me too. Fair enough, mate. You're gonna buy Neo, German 40, or you're on the right side of things. Well done. It's under 4 minutes. Alright, let's look at the M30 as well, because again, we're going up again. The higher time frame I mean, you got to weigh into that more. So obviously the 30 outweighs the 15. So if this 30 closes back above this horizontal, it's still too strong of a closure as well. So we really want that 5 minutes close back below that bullish wick. It's gonna be closing below 5 minute support as well. And close obviously the M15 back strong bearish. Geez, TikTok really didn't like that rant. The numbers have not gone up since. Probably all the people at the protest every Saturday and Sunday wasting their time. Disrupting traders in the city. About a matter that had nothing to do with our country. Just over 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining. If this doesn't happen, then what, my guys, what you really need to look out for is maybe this. We don't want to do this though. We don't want it to tap into target. If it doesn't, as long as it doesn't tap into target and you get the closure above a minimum about 12 to 15 pips, you want it to be around that 15. Look for your limit order interruption entry. While I'm making dinner. Avalanche, gold must fall. And do what it wants to do. Just needs to again wait for a confirmation. AWS wants me. No sound. Is that true? Can everyone else hear me on YouTube? Miller, I don't trade you. Large goals for chart zombies. Wow, is gold going to present in the last second? Josh, one of the M30, if we were on an hour earlier, would the hammer candle be a valid entry? Here? Nah, not for me. We can speak about it later, mate. Let me focus on this. What's low? 41.85.58. 41.85. 30 is a potential entry point. All right, now this candle needs to pop straight down. Straight down, break the low, pop back up, create the upper wick, and then I'll sell stop the low. Because if we've not closed below at 5 minute support, we are respecting it. So again, we could just be forming structure to the upside to continue bullish. I really want to break the low, pull back up to create the upper wick, because then if we do so, and we begin to reject, likely we'll just grab upside liquidity in order to make the move back down. We flip just now, create the upper wick, I'm just going to avoid it, and that's what we're doing. So no, I'm going to call it, guys. I'm done. No trade for me today. All good. Just following the rules, and again, I have rules for a reason, because they're there to protect me and ensure I'm not, you know, I've got a high probability of being on the right side of things. So once again, guys, options moving forward just depends. You could be looking for a weak bullish pause here on the M15 for maybe a sell below the pause, below the minor support. Otherwise, bullish engulfing for continuation buys or the interruption play. That's pretty much what I'd be looking at moving forward. Guys, thank you for joining. Apologies about the rant. For those who didn't like it, is what it is. You don't have to agree with me. All Oh, you could hear me. Nice one. Everyone else, thank you once again for your support. We'll be back tomorrow, same time as per usual. So look forward to that. To my team, I will see you guys in just over an hour, maybe an hour and a half from now. I'll keep you guys posted, but I'll definitely be on with you guys moving forward soon. Have a good one. Thank you, Franco.
Enjoy your dinner, Justin.
Cheers, mate. See you, Josh, Laura. See you guys later.
Yeah.
And YouTube, TikTok, once again, thank you for your support. Legend, should we enter by now? No, not for me. No confirmation. All right, guys, take care. See you tomorrow. All the best. Cheers.